HAYAH Insurance says its vision is to be the leading life insurer in the MENA region, setting the benchmark for personalized digital wealth management, offering a future where every individual, irrespective of their economic background, is equipped to make informed financial decisions. I'm Andrew Wilson, and I sat down here in Davos with CEO Mohamed Seghir to talk about the democratization of financial protection. Mohamed, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about HAYAH then. I gather you've had a rebrand quite recently.
This is correct. So we have rebranded the company last year. So we used to be called AXA, Green Creations, and we rebranded the company into HAYAH. So HAYAH means life in Arabic. And at the same time, we decided to position the company as a modern, vibrant brand which talks to everybody on the market.
And very digital based as well.
We're very digital indeed, so we try to be relevant actually to the UAE. As you may know, the United Arab Emirates are very advanced in terms of technology, in terms of innovation and so on. And we thought it was time as well for the insurance industry to leap forward and to go into that direction.
I was going to say, presumably you're seeing very different generations of customer possibilities in the UAE.
So different generations have different expectations. That's very clear. And what we see actually is that the Generation Z is already an important part of the population in the UAE. The UAE is a very interesting demographic. It's a mosaic of different countries, different nationalities, different cultures, and so on. And what we need to do is to be sure that we can talk to the most people. And it's one of our promises on the market, is to make insurance accessible. And when we see all the changing dynamics on the market, including the demographic changes, we think that this is the only way to be relevant for our customers in the future.
Tell me about some of that innovation then that you've been employing.
So the customers actually were really looking for interactions which are more on the technology side. As I said before, in the new UAE, in many industries, you will interact with companies which are very advanced in terms of technology, but it was not the case for insurance. So what we really wanted to do is to bring the same kind of experience that people normally have in terms of technology to life insurance. And this was really the ambition, with especially the new population and the Generation Z, with all these shifting demographics, which are more and more interested into this kind of approach on the market.
And how much do you think that artificial intelligence has a role to play in this?
So artificial intelligence will be a must in the future. So we have started to look at how we can integrate artificial intelligence in our journey, in the way we work as well internally and externally to our customers. And I think the question soon will not be that, do you need or not artificial intelligence? You will need artificial intelligence for sure. The way it is, actually the artificial intelligence today allows us to have access to more people, to allow you to design more customized proposition for your customers, and at the same time to reduce your expense base. So by that, basically the products are becoming more and more accessible for the larger number of the population and improve the financial inclusion at the same time.
And in terms of efficiency, does it change the way that you will communicate with customers and potential customers?
Absolutely. So the interactions actually with the artificial intelligence can be much more frequent and much more accurate as well. It can be based on macro or micro factors. So micro factors can be changes like in the inflation rate, in the interest rates, in the performance of the funds in which you are investing your savings policies. And by this, actually, we can have the interaction with our clients, which are becoming almost instantaneous. And we can even anticipate some of these changes so that the interaction with the client is much more important. One of the issues we normally have in life insurance is the number of touch points we have with our customers. Typically, in the traditional mode of life insurance, you have 2 touch points, is at the time that you take the policy and at the time of claim. And this artificial intelligence is going to change this situation by multiplying the number of touch points you will have with your customers.
Will there be issues? People get concerned about artificial intelligence, but also there's an awful lot of disclosure involved in life insurance, particularly, but in any kind of insurance. Are there issues of transparency and privacy that you have to deal with in terms of this increased relationship between yourselves and the customers through the artificial intelligence?
So we need to protect our customers and to protect the data. It's absolutely key. And this is the new challenge which is going to come. Artificial intelligence is going to be applied to many ways that we look at life insurance. But in particular for the data, the main challenge will be to be able to have proper data, to get the protection that you need around this data, but also to be able to use the data in relation or the relevant way to your products and to the proposition that you offer to your clients. And this is really one of the key challenges which will be posed to the industry, is how we are going to manage this data protection.
Do you find the prospect that, or have you considered the prospect that customers may be nervous of artificial intelligence? I mean, the general public is not clear exactly what artificial intelligence is, and indeed whether it's a help or a hindrance in their lives. Do you think people might be nervous?
So nervosity, perhaps not, but confusion, yes. And I think this is something as well that we are spending a lot of time to think about that, because we want basically the artificial intelligence to be integrated within our proposition. So it should be something which is almost seamless to the customers. It should not be something which is heavily imposed or that people can see it's basically artificial intelligence, because it's here only to support the life insurance proposition as such. So in terms of interactions, I think that in many industries, artificial intelligence will be more and more, or people will be more and more acquainted with the artificial intelligence. But our main challenge is how we are going to make it relevant for the customers.
And you've talked in your literature about democratization of finance. I mean, your goal is clearly to make your products more accessible and more understandable to a larger group of people. Is that your main ambition, to spread this further into the UAE community?
So it's one of our ambitions. So basically we have three ambitions. The first one is really to build a global Arab insurance brand. The second one is also to participate in the efforts of building a sustainable society and resilient society. And I think it's something where insurance has a very important role to play. We want to have a resilient world, and we are in a country, the UAE, which does a lot of efforts to be in this trend and to build a very resilient and sustainable future. And in that case, you need as well for that to be very inclusive, because you cannot leave alone segments of the population. And for that, you need to make sure that the way you build your product, the way you approach the market, you have this financial inclusion in mind, and you are sure that the more people will be will have access to your solution, the better the society will be resilient and sustainable in the future.
So what's your vision, say, looking 10 years down the line for HAYAH and your prospects as a company and your interaction with the customer base and so on, and how that will fit into the broader society in the Gulf?
So for me, I think it's a very interesting question, because life insurance and savings, retirement questions had never been very relevant to the general population for various reasons. You know, many people are expats, don't come from the UAE, but actually the demographics are changing rapidly. People used to come as expats, so meaning they would come for 2-3 years and then leave the country. This has changed radically, and this change has even been accentuated by the COVID crisis. You can realize that many people from Europe, from Asia, and from other geographies, they decided to stay and to make the UAE their home. So basically, we want to make sure as well that HAYAH is the companion for your life and for your future. And this is a bit like the ambition or the vision we have for the company 10 years down the line, is to become a real companion for the residents of the UAE.
Mohamed Seghir, thanks very much indeed. Good talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you.